On this episode of Hot Rod Hoarders, we're exploring 200 acres in North Georgia that's sprinkled with cars all over. Around every corner you'll find a little collection, either under a carport or behind the garage or under a shed or even just stashed away in the woods. Follow along with me as I go explore this whole property and show you all the cool stuff, the old cars, old parts, lots of random stuff that's been stashed away for lots of years. Just a quick reminder that this is the second installment of a two-part series covering BB's collection. Last week, we checked out everything that he has indoors. He's got a big building that's kind of like a museum, he's got a project shop, and he's got a race car shop, and we covered all that last week. Well, this week, we're headed out into the wilderness. Personally, I like that kind of stuff. I love going through the woods and seeing stuff that's been stashed away for decades, and that's what we're going to see here. So follow along with me. We're going to go exploring. The first place we're going to check out is the race car shop. Now, I showed you inside of that last week, but outside of it, there's an early 50s Chevy Gasser sitting here. Really cool looking car. It's kind of just a shell at this point, but it's already got the quarter panels cut out. It's got a straight axle under the front. It's a really good start to a cool Gasser project. And then you got an old Dodge pickup that BB has put lots of miles on through the years. It's sitting low. It's got white wall tires on it. You know, I guess some people would consider this a rat rod, but to me it's just a cool hot rod that you can get in and drive and not worry about. It's got the cool patina, it's ready for the road. As we make our way behind the shop, you'll see an old Studebaker truck that's got a Georgia Bulldogs theme. It's red and black, it's got the giant G on the door. This is another vehicle that BB has put lots of miles on. Obviously it's kind of sitting back here for a reason. I don't think he uses it quite as much as he used to, but still a really cool truck. We've got a Chevrolet and a couple of old Buicks. They're mostly complete. There's lots of parts here. These are what I would consider buildable cars. You know, maybe a rat rod, maybe some kind of cool cruiser, some kind of street rod. You know, there's a lot of options when it comes to building something like this. So he stashed these things away under a roof to keep them from getting any rustier. And, you know, he's got them in safekeeping for maybe a future project down the road. BB invited us to hop in the Kubota and check out some of the other sections of the property, and I'm glad he did because it's 200 acres, it's a lot of ground to cover. So the next place we visited was kind of a collection of yard ornaments that they had kind of sprinkled out in the yard. We got a big commercial Ford truck here, about a 32 it looks like, and then we've got some other 40s and 50s cars. We got a 40s Chevrolet Coupe, we got looks like a Dodge maybe or DeSoto, I can't really tell much about it. Sort of the early 50s four-door sedan. Then we got a few others sprinkled around here. Nothing real extravagant or special. These are just kind of cars that sort of set the stage for what we're about to see. Next, we head into the woods where there's two different sections of what you might call miniature old car junkyards. The first one here, there's just a handful of cars here, maybe 6 cars total, but they're really cool cars from the 50s. We got a 53 Chevrolet Bel Air 2-door post. Cool looking car. It's got trees completely surrounding it. You know, this thing has been here a while. Then we've got this giant 2-door hardtop Cadillac. When's the last time you saw a pink Cadillac in the woods? You know, that's not a common thing, and this thing is rotten, and it's obvious that this thing has been here for decades. You can see around the back of it, the tree, I mean, it is just a giant tree that's really kind of pushing its way into that body and into the rear bumper. You know, kind of an insane look at just how nature takes over, you know, but really cool looking car. Rusty, not usable, but it's still got some pretty good parts sitting on it. So, you know, they've used it through the years for parts cars for some of their other builds. Also in this small collection is a 55 Chevrolet 4-door and a 57 Chevrolet 4-door, mostly complete cars. And then we'll see we've got some 57 hoods and some other parts kind of scattered around here. And then we got a 50s Buick that's just kind of been taken over by pine needles and leaves. And then next to it is about maybe a 63 or 64 Ford Galaxy. These cars have really cool lines. You know, they made big horsepower too. I don't think this one had a very special engine or anything like that, but they're still really good looking cars. And if you're ever around an old car collection, especially something in the woods or an old junkyard, and you see a box van or some kind of tractor trailer or something like that, you gotta ask about it because chances are pretty likely that it is full of parts. So I had to ask BB about this old box truck that was kind of stuffed away in the woods, And he said, yeah, there's plenty of parts in there. He said, we've been using it for storage for years. So he was gracious enough to open it up for us to where we could get a peek inside. And you know, it wasn't stacked to the ceiling with parts, but it had a lot of good stuff in there. In fact, this engine right here, this is the original 283 from BB's very first car, the 61 Impala Bubbletop that we showed you last week. This is the original engine for it. So it's got sentimental value, and they've got it stashed away for safekeeping right here in this box truck. Other stuff you'll see in the box truck is a 348 engine, lots of engine parts, lots of random pieces that's just been stuffed in here and kind of forgotten about over the years. Next, we're headed to another location in the woods. This one's a little bit bigger and a little more variety, and we're going to start things off with this Chevy 2 station wagon. You know, this thing is completely rotten. It's took apart. There's nothing really left of it, but it's cool to see it out here. You know, I just love these little cars. Also in the mix is a Lincoln Continental, a couple of 56 Chevrolet two-door hardtops. Now these things, they're rough. I mean, these are very rough cars that have been out here forever, and they were rough when they got here. So, you know, again, a two-door hardtop, especially a 56, you know, 55, 6, or 7, any of those 3 years is a very desirable car. But you got to know your limit of what's a buildable car and what's not. And these cars have just been viewed as parts cars. And as you can see, they're pretty well stripped down. There's not a whole lot left here. And BB was telling me that some of these cars, especially the Tri-5s, that his dad bought them years ago back when he was dirt track racing. Because back then, even if you didn't use a 55, 6, or 7 Chevrolet body, you still used the frame. Even if you're going to put a little Nova body or any kind of old body on this, you know, you were going to use that Tri-5 frame. That was the frame of choice for dirt track racing. So, you know, he bought up a few of these cars. They were just junkyard cars even back in the 60s. And bought them up, was going to use them for parts, going to use them for frame and suspension pieces. And as you can tell, they're used up. There's not a whole lot left of them. You'll also see a couple of 60 model Chevrolet four-door cars. These things have been cut all to pieces. I'm not really sure, you know, if somebody robbed the quarter panels to patch up a two-door or what exactly happened here. But these cars are pretty much rotten and cut all to pieces. There's not a whole lot of use for them, but they're not hurting anything. So he's held on to them for all these years. Then we got a couple of 59 Ford four-door cars. One of the cars that really got my attention is this little Chevy Nova. Looks like a 67 model. It's kind of hard to tell because there's not a whole lot left of it here. But two-door hardtop, you know, these are getting to be really desirable cars. I'm working on one right now in the shop that, you know, they're just getting to be pretty pricey, and you know, everybody loves that body style. It's one of my favorite body styles that Chevrolet ever produced. And it's kind of crazy to see this one just kind of rotting away out here in the woods. Probably the newest car out here in the woods is this early 70s Chevy Monte Carlo. And this thing, you know, it's rotten, it's rough, but look inside of it. The interior is actually somewhat usable. I realize the windows have been down. This thing is probably completely rotted out from one end to the other. But, you know, it's kind of crazy to look inside the window and see that nobody has scavenged those seats or the door panels or anything out of this car. I mean, it's pretty much complete on the inside. There's a Buick Century four-door that almost looks like it could have been driven in here. It's a mostly complete car. It's kind of sitting off to one side, but this thing's got tons of cool trim on it. And these things were really kind of iconic looking cars. Even the four doors are cool. If you saw the video last week, you probably heard me talk about BB's first car, and he had the choice between that car and an early 60s Ford Thunderbird. The thing's been in the family for years, and now it's kind of surrounded by briars and vines, and it's kind of out here in a cow pasture, but you know, still in the family, still here on the property after all these years. My absolute favorite car out here in the woods is this 61 Impala Bubbletop. I mean, how often do you see a Bubbletop out in the woods? This thing is so cool. It's got the best body lines that Chevrolet ever produced, in my opinion. But, you know, this thing's obviously been stripped down. It's been used as a parts car. You know, it's rusty, it's rough, but it's still cool to see it out here and to be able to kind of get an up close and personal look at it. He's actually got a couple more 61 Bubbletops stashed away in a giant shed, and that's where we're headed next. So we get in the Kubota, hit the trail again, get back to the front part of the property where we can check out some of these cars. And this shed is full of cool stuff. First we see a 50s International pickup, And then as we make our way back in here, you're going to see a demolished Pontiac. And if you remember last week, we talked about that Pontiac station wagon with the 421 and the 4-speed and bucket seats and 8-lug wheels. Well, all that stuff came off of this car. BB and his dad, they bought this car off of Copart. They completely stripped off all the cool stuff, put it over on the wagon, and then they just kind of stashed this thing away. And as you can tell, this was a restored car at some point. The paint and stuff, what's left of it is pretty slick. Somebody had really worked this thing over, and it's a shame that it got wrecked so badly. You know, I hope the guy that was driving it was okay, but it was a pretty bad looking wreck. Then we've got two Nash Metropolitans over here. I'm not sure what BB's plan is for these, but they're just cool little cars. I love seeing these things. They're just iconic 50s cars, even though they're on a very small scale. Now we've made it to the other 61 Bubbletops in BB's collection. Both of these are a little bit rough, but they are buildable cars. So he's got them stashed away under a roof where at least they won't be quite so prone to getting rustier and rougher as the years go on. But the one in the back here is really cool. Now last week, remember I told you about a Super Sport, that there was two different options here. There was a factory Super Sport and a dealer installed Super Sport. Well, this car is not a factory Super Sport. This is a dealer installed Super Sport. So it's got the same badges, and it's really hard to document these things unless you got the build sheet. Luckily, they got that build sheet on BB's dad's car, but this car is proven to be a dealer installed Super Sport. Still a rare piece, still really cool. In front of it is another 61 Bubbletop, a little rougher than the other, but still kind of a cool car. Plenty of parts left on it. Could be a parts car or a potential project in the future. And then the next row over, we're going to see a 53 or 4 Chevrolet two-door hardtop. You don't see too many of these hardtop cars. You see tons of two-door posts and 4 doors, but the two-door hardtop is a rare piece. This one is mostly complete, pretty nice car, definitely buildable. And then in front of it is a really cool piece. It's a 64 Impala two-door hardtop. And if you see inside of there, you'll see a 4-speed, bucket seats, and then on this front fender, the most special part of all is that 409 badge. This is a factory 409 4-speed car. Unfortunately, it does not have the 409 in it anymore. Those engines were known for not holding up very well, especially if you were hard on them. So at some point in this car's life, the 409 went away, and it's got just a regular small block Chevy in it now, but still a cool car. Tucked in the back corner of this shed is a pair of 59 Fords. You'll see one is a two-door hardtop, mostly complete car, looks pretty solid. And the one next to it is what's really cool. This is a Skyliner, and it has the retractable hardtop. So these things are really rare. Basically, that top kind of comes apart in a few pieces and it folds down into the trunk. It was like the most futuristic thing ever in the late 50s. And it had tons of solenoids and switches and all these different things to make all that stuff operate. These things are a total headache to try to restore, but they are iconic 1950s cars. So he's held on to this one for a while. It's definitely a buildable project, and it's one of those things that's kind of on the to-do list way down the road. In a separate shed, there's a 40s Oldsmobile Coupe and an old sedan kind of stuffed back in there. Really cool looking cars. And as we spin around here, we'll see some late 70s El Caminos, which were actually shop trucks for their business. And you know, when these things retired, they just stuffed them back here in the shed, and they've been here ever since. So that pretty much covers BB's collection. Last week we got to see the shiny stuff. This week we got to see the stuff in the woods, and I love it all, and I'm very appreciative of BB for letting us go explore and giving us some background on some of these cars and parts and pieces that they've held on to for so many years. So, you know, I look forward to doing this more and more. This time I brought my dad along with me. Sometimes I bring my little girl with me. You know, I really try to kind of enjoy this with my family, and that's a big part of this too. And that's a big part for BB as well. He's enjoyed old cars with his dad for basically his whole life. So, you know, it's a really cool thing that we kind of share together, is being able to have that same interest with your dad. You know, we're both very fortunate in that regard. And, you know, I really enjoyed spending some time with him. Got to spend more time with the old Willys race car, and I'm going to show you more of that in a future episode. So stay tuned to the channel. We're going to keep showing these collections, keep showing off old race cars and any other kind of old stuff that I run across. So continue supporting, continue watching, continue hitting that like button, and we'll see you next week.